Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Thursday. All right, guys, well, we're back to talk about something other than Scandival. Finally, we have some drama going on in the Real Housewives. Well, I guess technically in Beverly Hills, but with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But, anyways, however you want to break it down, there's drama and we're here to talk about it. So, before we jump in, do all the YouTube things, smash that like button, show some love. Yeah, and I say at this point, let's just cut to the chase and do it.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, so I don't know where to start here. Do I start with Taylor Armstrong throwing Lisa Vanderpump under the bus and Camille Grammer reacting, or do I throw in Erica Girardi and Tom Girardi because there's always drama? And now we found out that they're finding his medical evaluation does not count and he's got to go to trial. I'll start with the drama. Okay. Here we go. Thank you to Radar Online. The prosecutors taking on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erica Jane's husband, Tom Girardi, for alleged embezzlement are fighting the disgraced lawyer's attempt to keep information about his mental state sealed. Ooh, so he's trying to keep this information sealed, and they're like, don't think so. According to court documents obtained by RadarOnline.com, the government has demanded the judge presiding over Girardi's criminal case allow them access to the report. Oof. As they previously reported earlier this year, Girardi, a once well-respected lawyer who fell from grace after he was accused of running his law firm like a Ponzi scheme, was charged with 5 counts of wire fraud. In court documents, Girardi was accused of stealing money from clients from 2010 to 2020, and Erica's husband and his associates stand accused of embezzling over $15 million to fund their lavish lifestyles, which is so crazy because 15 million, like I thought we were in the hundreds plus a million. So why are we just accusing them of the 15 million? And if there's 5 counts of wire fraud and he now has to stand trial, does that mean that he no longer would have to go into a senior assisted living facility? He instead would end up going into a prison? That's another question that I have. And doesn't it make sense that the prosecutors would unseal his mental health records, especially if you're trying to seal them for the sole fact that you don't have to stand trial after there are victims left with no money and no way to pay for their lives after these massive tragedies? Girardi, I don't know about this. Girardi's problem started in 2020 as he was hit with several lawsuits over loans and unpaid debts. His creditors forced him and his law firm, Girardi Keese, into bankruptcy. We know that Bravo star filed for divorce as her husband's legal problems worsened, and Erica was hit with a lawsuit as part of the bankruptcy, demanding that she pay back $25 million that was spent to pay for her bills for her company. That's what I mean, though, too. If she's still negotiating a $25 million lawsuit, and they said that she's getting close, that they might have some sort of resolution in August, which would be great for her, then she can go to Vegas and do her residency. Sure, that's all great. But if she's getting hit with this $25 million one, then why is the 5 counts of wire fraud only worth $15 million? Like, why isn't that number so much bigger? I think that's my only question. This is a question for Emily D. Baker. That's who it's a question for. I'm going to text her. Okay. Let's continue. In 2021, Girardi was moved out of his mega mansion in Pasadena and into a senior assisted living facility. Doesn't sound like for long. His brother Robert was granted conservatorship after revealing Erica's husband was diagnosed with dementia. As part of the criminal case, the government hired an expert to determine if Girardi was competent to stand trial, and Goldstein has concluded her examination and, among other things, said that the defendant is competent to stand trial. That's what the motion read. However, prosecutors said that they agreed to let Girardi's team review Goldstein's report before they looked at it. The government said Girardi's team was to redact private information, but instead redacted the majority of the report. The motion demanded the court allow prosecutors to review and use the entirety of Girardi's evaluation. This seems like, from an outsider looking in, and I'm not in the court, and I'm not accusing anybody of anything, this seems like we have to take certain things out of this medical evaluation, or else he is going to trial and he is going to lose. That's what this sounds like. So if I were representing, I'm not an attorney, but if I were representing him, I would be like, Well, yeah, let's take some of these lines out from his medical evaluation because this makes it sound like he knows exactly what he's doing and how he's maneuvering and what's going on. And maybe he actually doesn't. And maybe they're like, this on paper makes him look like he's great to go, but he's actually not. Or maybe he actually is. So many questions to which I need so many answers, but you guys can comment below on that one. I'm going to move it on. All right. Reality Blurb came out with this saying Taylor Armstrong suggested that Lisa Vanderpump orchestrated Camille Grammer's shocking confrontation against Taylor in a past season. And she indicated that Camille wasn't smart enough to orchestrate it herself. Oh, well, Taylor's back in the Housewives, that's for sure. In the past episode, Camille called out the physical abuse allegations against Taylor's husband, Russell Armstrong, who eventually died by taking his own life. Lisa, who quit the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills amid claims that she leaked a damaging story about her good friend Dorit, has been accused of waging secret wars against her co-stars. However, she adamantly denies that this is the case. In an interview for the Two T's in a Pod podcast, Taylor addressed her former drama with Camille. When asked if she believes Lisa put Camille up to it, Taylor said yes. Camille's not that smart to come up with that on her own. Teddi Mellencamp, well, she agreed. Taylor also indicated that Lisa calculated the conversation, and eventually Teddi claimed Camille would do anything to get the paycheck last minute. The thing here is, Tamara's not going to look bad in this conversation because Taylor and Teddi, they know Camille and Lisa. So they're both going to say whatever they want. And Taylor is good friends with Tamara. And Tamara and Teddi obviously have a show together. So she's going to go along with whatever Teddi said for the most part, because Taylor's not really like a standalone housewife. She's not one to come to the table and like, if Teddi's like, Camille was so terrible, Taylor wouldn't be like, actually, that's your opinion. That's not my opinion. But moving on, like Taylor wouldn't cut that off. She's more of a just go with the flow and, oh, okay, you think she's terrible? Well, then I'm going to agree with you because in that way we get along. And then look, Tamara, me and Teddi get along. So I got to stay on the show. Camille was on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with no paycheck for forever. Ugh. She was doing that shit for free. Teddi was saying that she did it for fame. According to reports, Camille will appear in the show's upcoming season, along with Kim Richards and Denise, after a long period away from the Bravo cameras. All right, guys. I mean, it just doesn't feel... It's a fair conversation. It's always a fair conversation, but it just seems like it's going to be an obvious one-sided conversation. But I want to hear what your thoughts are. So go ahead, comment below. For sure, let us know what you think. Tomorrow's Jason's birthday, so happy birthday, Jason. And then on top of that, we will be putting up a hot, messy topic. So there's lots going on. If you guys didn't catch our recap with Ricky Cornish for the Real Housewives of Orange County today, then make sure you go be a part of the replay crew. I love you guys, and we'll see you so very soon. Bye, guys.